So today, we have looked at 10 myths of the coconino, and I want to scratch that word myths out right now and change it to truths. So here are 10 truths about the coconino. The literature says that there's steep crossbed dips in the coconino. Well, that's not true. The crossbed dips are only about 20 degrees. They're not steep like we see in desert sand dunes. The literature says that the coconino is well-rounded and well-sorted. Well, that's not true. Of all the times we've looked at the sand under the microscope, the sand is subangular, and it's poorly sorted or moderately sorted. It says that the literature says there's mud cracks at the base of the coconino. Well, that's not true. These things are sand injectites. The vertebrate tracks were supposedly made in deserts. But as you look at those tracks and study them carefully and compare them with tracks that are actually made underwater and in dry sand and damp sand, it looks like the tracks have things that we can only explain by them being made underwater. It doesn't look like raindrop prints are common in the coconino. And in fact, I would argue that I haven't seen anything in the coconino that actually has the characteristics of what rain looks like in sand. The sand grains were frosted in a desert, supposedly, but you look at the details of these sand grains under the scanning electron microscope, and it's a chemical frosting, which is a pretty common way for frosting to occur. The large contorted beds are not big dunes that have slumped or failed or something like that, but these are what we call parabolic recumbent folds. And they are very specifically only formed by conditions where you have strong, rapidly moving water. You can't form those big folded rocks in any other ways. Number 8, there should be no dolomite. In fact, we found that dolomite, which is a marine mineral, it only is formed in ocean settings, or mostly formed in ocean settings. We found that dolomite is a common mineral. There should be no mica. We found lots of mica in the coconino, almost every single slide that we've looked at. And big sand dunes don't occur underwater. In fact, they do. We've made a map of these big sand waves. They're called sand waves that are underwater. And we have 40 locations around the world on our map. They primarily occur on continental shelves. And we've just looked at places where they're cited in the literature. But now you could even go on Google Earth. And if you go on Google Earth, they have underwater in many places on Google Earth. And you can even see these things on Google Earth.